Good evening, everyone. Hello out there. Welcome to KAMDI Conversations. My name is Tanya Hawley, your host this evening. And as usual, I'm always excited to have guests. And I'm really excited about this guest because she is what we call a quadruple threat. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But as you join us, please be sure to hit the StreamYard link at the top. And so we can see your name and who's with us and say hi to Kim and let us know you're here. But I won't be able to see your name if you do not click on the StreamYard link. So please do that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm so excited, as I said, and I want to introduce you to this very talented, very gifted young lady who has graced us with her presence this evening. Please welcome to the show, Miss Kim Yarbrough. Yay!
Hi,
Hi, Kim.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining me this evening. I'm so excited to have you here. You are so talented, and I can't wait to dive in because you've got a lot to share, I think. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and start because we don't have a lot of time, but I want to get everything in I can in the amount of time that we do have. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Again, thank you so much for coming. Let me ask you this. How did this start for you? Just the whole entertainment, because you do a lot of things, and maybe we should break it down. Should I say, how did the singing aspiration start? How did the acting start? How did the violin start? How did it all start for you?
You know, it all started in phases and stages. I didn't start everything at once, nor did I know what I wanted to do all at once. But you know, coming home from the hospital, the very first night I was born, my daddy's jazz buddies decided to drop by the house and jam. I mean, they didn't know he was bringing home a new baby. My mom was livid.
I'm sure.
But they jammed until 4 a.m. So that kind of set the tone for my life.
That is funny.
That's how it happened. So that's how it all started, if you really want to know.
That's hilarious. So they just kept on jam until 4, even though a brand new baby was okay.
When the music hits you, you just...
I love it.
What did Michael Jackson say? Don't stop till you get enough, or...
Yeah, that's the song, yes.
Keep on when the 4 stops. Yeah, when the 4 starts, you can just
it's just in you. I hear you. So which came first? Tell me the first thing that you were interested in. What piqued your interest first, and how? What happened?
I grew up in Memphis, right?
Okay.
And the Memphis Symphony came to my school, came to my elementary school.
Okay.
And I had also, they were doing the school thing. Like, it wasn't the whole symphony, but it was like the core players, the reduced symphony. And so they came to my mom's school at first because my mom was a teacher.
Okay.
And I saw them, and I had an opportunity to see the concert mistress, who's the main violinist. He's the very first one that sits right next to the conductor, the one that you can see on the outside of the stage.
Okay.
And that's supposedly usually the most virtuosic violinist in the orchestra. He's the top dog in the orchestra. So this lady's name was Joy Brown Weiner. Her name was Joy Brown Weiner. And when she played, the earth moved for me.
Wow.
She was so excited about the music. She was practically standing up out of her seat when she would play. She was so expressive. And I was looking at her like, wow, I want to do that. And at the time, I was 4 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was 4 years old. I saw her first when I went to school with my mom because I was too young to go to school. It was one of those days where I was at school with my mom while she was, take your kids to work day.
Yes. Okay.
And then I saw her again later. Okay. When I was 6 or 7 and I was in elementary school. And I was like, I got to do that. I got to do that. I know I can do that. So from the time I was 4, I already knew that I knew how to play the violin. And the first time I picked it up, I could actually play. Don't ask me how that happens.
Oh, my goodness. That's a gift. I don't know.
It was a gift.
Anybody, especially a violin, that's not an easy instrument.
No. And instruments that people have that come easy to some people, or they really, I have a challenge with. But the violin, my right brain knew how to instinctively hold the bow, or my left brain, or my right. I think it's half hemisphere controls the other half. My left brain knew what to do with the bow, and my right brain knew what to do with the left hand. I don't know.
Wow. That's some story. My daughter plays the violin. She's 12. Yes.
Beautiful.
So I'll have to make sure I tell her about you and show her some of your things that you playing. But that's an amazing story. So that's what hit you first, the violin.
Yeah.
So you've been doing that the longest then, right?
Yes.
If you started at that young age. Did your mother just go buy you a violin after that when you were 4 or 6? Or
no, I had to beg her for 3 years.
Okay.
I had to chortle her. I had to wheedle her down.
Okay.
Years. Mom, I want a violin. Mom, I can really play. No, okay, yeah, you think you can play. No, Mom, I'm serious. I can really play. So then when I finally played in the store, my mom and dad were like,
how did she do that? Yes. I love it. So what came next? Did the singing come next or acting? What came?
I think the acting came next. I started being cast in, little plays in school, but they always wanted to cast me as the lead for some reason. And I didn't feel responsible enough to do that. I didn't really like it at first.
Really?
And I'm like, oh my God, they've given me all these lines and I need help with all this stuff. Mom, what am I going to do?
So they saw something in you that you didn't see, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, look at you now. Yeah, they saw it. You just didn't know. And then you were probably young and didn't understand.
I was a closet ham.
Okay. I love it. In the mirror, you probably were the star of the show, right? In the mirror.
That?
In the mirror. When you looked in the mirror and you were the star of the show, maybe? At home in the mirror? Not even there?
No, I didn't become a ham until much later.
Much later? Okay.
I didn't actually realize, I didn't catch hold to my exhibitionism until much later.
Okay. Well, that's probably good, actually. So, okay.
I think it was because I was overlooked. On one hand, as a kid, I was put out front by the people in charge, whatever that means. Always the teacher's pet sitting in front, making all A, that nerdy kid. And then on the other hand, I was overlooked by, I think, my peers a lot, because I was the goofy one with the glasses and reading the books and, the nerd, the geek. I was the geek.
Okay. But that's okay. So something happened along the way, and hopefully you'll share where that transition took place. But so we've got musician down and we got acting down. Is there anyone that inspired you in particular with acting?
Lucille Ball.
Lucille Ball. Okay. I love Lucille Ball. I love Lucy. It was one of my favorite shows.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of sick with it. I know every line.
Okay. But is there a comedian in there somewhere too, or no?
Yeah, but I'm scared to do that. I got several lanes. God has given me several lanes, and I'm going to stay in all 5 of them. I don't know if I want to. Being a comedian is hard. I don't know if I want to go out there and put myself in front of an audience like that.
Okay. I was just asking, since you said Lucille Ball, I thought I would just ask that question.
Comedic acting. My friends tell me I'm funny, but it's just when I'm talking and I'm riffing and.
Understood. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole different ballgame to get on a stage in front of people.
I have so much respect for comedians.
I do too. Absolutely. So we got musician and acting, singing. When did that come into play? Or did that come along with the acting?
No, I was 18. I mean, I was a bloomer. I was a late bloomer.
That's okay. You bloomed though. So you were 18 when the singing started. What happened at 18?
Well, I was a violin major in college. I received a scholarship to go and study violin.
Mm.
And when you're a music major, you have to study, excuse me, all of the instruments. When you're a music major, you have to study the brass instruments, trombone, tuba, trumpet. You have to study the woodwind instruments, flute, clarinet, saxophone. You have to study the drums. I played timpani.
Okay.
You have to study the string instruments. You have to study voice. And I was put into a group voice class, and the chairman of the music department's wife taught that class because she was an opera singer. And you had to get up in front of the class every week. Everyone was assigned a song, and I had to sing my song that week. And she was playing along, and I'm singing, and she stopped. And she said, wait, do that again. And the whole class is like, oh no, what happened?
Right.
And she says, sing that again. And it was a very high part of the song, I remember. Mm-hmm. And I did it again. And then a third time, I'm like, what is she? And then the whole class, you can like hear crickets. Like, what is
happening? Yes.
She was a very commanding woman. Mm-hmm. And people were kind of afraid of her, you know?
Okay.
And then she stopped and she said, I've never heard anybody that's been able to do that before.
Oh.
And I don't even remember what that thing was that she was talking about. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay. And then she pulled me aside after class and said that I should pursue singing further, even though she knew I was a violin major and I was in the orchestra and the symphony and all of that. But I should pursue singing more seriously. And she had me take voice from her.
Wow.
4 years. I took classical vocal for 4 years.
Wow. Okay. So you sing classical music as an opera music as well? You're an opera singer.
Yeah. When I started out, I started singing classical. I still do occasionally.
Okay. You got a lot of talent in there over there.
It's the God in me.
That is awesome. Okay. So there we have the singing, how that got started. So now you said 5 lanes, but I had dance down and I had 4 things. You hiding something over there?
No, you know what? When you do musicals and when you do Broadway, you got to be able to act, sing, and dance at the same time. And I would say I wouldn't call myself a dancer's dancer.
Okay.
I'm an actor that moves well and I can hold my own. You give me, give me a combination and some choreography. I can do it, and I can do it with style and something that makes the audience go, oh, wow, nice. Rather than, what is she doing?
Yes.
I've had a lot of dance training.
Okay.
I was just at Debbie Allen Studios right before the pandemic.
Oh, that's awesome. COVID. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute too, about what you've been doing since COVID. But I wanted to get through all of your talent, especially if we're introducing you to some people that don't know who you are or what you do. I want to make sure we covered everything, which I think we have now. We know you got it all. We got the full package here with Kim. And let's go ahead. So tell me how you transition. You get out of college, you finish. What happened after college? Tell us where you went from there, or how this whole process went, this journey went for you.
After college, I played in a lot of, local symphonic groups, and I earned probably a third of my income that way. You know, I'd play Christmas cantatas at the big mega churches and that sort of thing. And then I decided I wanted to form a girl group.
Okay.
An R&B girl group, and I wanted to sing R&B. And at the time I was doing a lot of amateur contests. And when I started winning the contest, then I started realizing, oh, I might have something here. Just like my teacher said long ago, I didn't believe her until I started watching audience reactions.
Right. Okay. Very good. And so the girl group, what happened with that? Did you form one?
I did. We were called A1.
Okay. Like the sauce. Okay. Okay.
And we sang R&B. We did Anita Baker back at that time. We performed at parties and.
Okay. Were you still in Memphis? Where were you?
I was still in Memphis at that time, and I started singing R&B.
Okay. So I don't want to jump, but I want to make sure I get this in because we actually don't have a lot of time left. Tell us about The Voice, because a lot of people, that's where they know you from. How did that happen? What was the experience like? Tell us about The Voice.
I did not want to do that audition. It came up because, well, a lot of my friends had heard about it and they were auditioning at the Forum, which is a huge arena in Los Angeles. And I'm like, you guys go. I'm not going to be number 234 out of 2,600 people sleeping on the ground. You guys go do that. Have fun. And then I got a call from a little cabaret show I used to do over in Hollywood saying, well, The Voice called us and said, we hear you guys have some great singers, so send some of them our way and we'll give them an appointment. And I was like, oh, well, that's all I need. That's all I needed to hear, an appointment. Okay, I'm not going to have to sleep on the ground.
Oh, I didn't know they did that. Okay.
Yeah, people camp out. So the year I auditioned, 150,000 people auditioned.
Wow.
The second year after I was on the show, the next year, 140,000 people auditioned in Atlanta alone. So it got huge. We swept the ratings in the second year. But it was like that year that I was on The Voice was unreal. It was surreal. It was some of the best moments of my life. It was amazing.
So what was the feeling walking out on this stage? And by the way, when I said I didn't know they did that, I didn't know they actually made appointments for people, that way. I guess to get the good talent in, I'm sure. But so tell us how you felt coming to the Voice, that the audition when you that we see when you go in and you're walking on the stage, the part they always show us. What was that like?
A blind audition?
Yes.
There's a video on my website showing my performances on The Voice that season. Mm-hmm. And when I walk out, you'll hear me say underneath my breath on camera, dress rehearsal is over, baby.
That's true.
Dress rehearsal is over. I wasn't nervous. I don't get stage fright. If I'm prepared, I don't get stage fright. I just knew it was time.
Okay.
Everything I had ever worked for was right there in front of me. And I knew, you can't mess this up, girl. What is wrong with you? Pull yourself together, pull up your big girl, you know what, and get out there and blow them away. And
you did. So, and what was the song you sang?
Tell me something good.
Oh, yes, Miss Chaka Khan. Okay.
Love that lady.
Yes. And I was going to ask you who were some of your influences. We know you obviously like Chaka Khan, but who were there some other musical influences? Who were your favorites?
Aretha, Tina Turner. I like the Michael Jackson. I like the musicians who did everything and were the total package entertainer. Beyonce can do no wrong in my book. I like the total package entertainer, but I also love the singers like Whitney Houston, and Aretha and Stephanie Mills. And
you got some wonderful names there. So tell us about, what are you doing now? Acting, just what are you into? Tell everybody where we can see you now, and where you're at right now, because we want to see you.
You can hear me on an animated show. I'm a regular character on an animated show. It's called Cosmic, and it's on Netflix. It's streaming the first season right now, and it's funny. It's funny for kids as well as adults. It's a great show. The same guy that produced the Powerpuff Girls and created that show created Cosmic. So I'm a regular character on that. I play the part of Flo.
Okay, Flo.
And I had been auditioning for Shameless for 7 years. They were on for 11 seasons. And for 7 of those seasons, I tried desperately to get on that show. And I finally got on the last season. I have a scene with my girl, Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I play her best friend in one of the shows in the 11th season of Shameless. And I just made an appearance on the Kenan Thompson show on NBC as a Southern cook, which wasn't too much of a stretch.
Okay, right. But from Memphis, yes. And I don't know if you cook or not, but
I do.
Okay, wonderful. And so is there anything, you want to do that you haven't done? What are the dreams now? Where do you want to go? Because I know you have the TV going. Is there anything that you haven't done that you want to do, or anything specific?
Yeah, I would really love to tour with my own band. I feel most at home with a huge audience.
Okay.
There is a YouTube video of me singing God Bless America and the national anthem on at Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's full. Dodger Stadium is full. I think 60,000 people. They were playing the Mets, the New York Mets at the time. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the serene look on my face. I am so comfortable. I am so comfortable. So give me 80,000 people. I'm just like, I feel at home.
Wow. Not too many people can say that.
I feel so relaxed.
Wow. That's amazing. You are most comfortable on stage, period, in front of people. And that's a gift, I think, too, as well. You had a lot of gifts, Kim, a lot. That's awesome. Is there any individual that you would like to do a duet with, or what's the dream duet, or who would you like to sing with?
On my bucket list is Elton John.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because my friend Jacob from American Idol, they called him Little Luther, has gotten a chance to meet him, and I'm like, Jacob.
Oh, got to meet Elton. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you never know. You might be able to meet him one day too.
I hope so, and sing with him.
Yeah, that's more importantly. So, anyone else on the bucket list and dream list of who you would want to do a duet with?
You know who I'm really loving right now is John Baptiste, the director of the Stephen Colbert show, Colbert Late Show. I'm really loving what John Baptiste is doing right now. He's a madman on the piano, and I would just love to duet with him.
Okay, wonderful. Do you play any other instruments besides the violin?
I know my way around a piano. I wouldn't call myself a pianist. I do teach. I know it well enough to teach piano. I teach piano a little bit. Violin is my main instrument.
Okay.
And like I said, I played drums in high school, but that was a long time ago.
Kim, you're quite modest. If you just said you teach piano, I'm pretty sure you could play it decently. So I think you're being quite modest if you're teaching it.
I'm decent.
Yeah, I believe it. I do believe it. So is there anything else you want to share with us? I want to play a game. I always play a game at the end, and it's only take a minute or two.
Okay.
But before I get into the game, I just want to make sure, because I actually wanted you to talk about Della Reese and your connection with her. Can you do that briefly before we go into that? Was one of my names I was going to give you, but tell us about Della and your connection.
Never did I think when I was watching her as a kid, same time I was watching Lucille Ball, would I grow up to have her as my spiritual mom and my mentor, kind of like my second mom. And I moved out here to LA, and I was led to her church because someone outside the door of an audition heard me singing. And I came out of the audition, and the lady looked at me and she said, "Where did you come from?"
Okay.
And I said, I just moved here from the Twin Cities about 4 months ago. She's like, "You've got to come to my church. You've got to come and sing at my church." I didn't know it was Della Reese's church.
Oh.
And I started singing in the choir, and, she gave me kind of a side eye the first time I had a lead, a solo. And then she comes behind me and goes, "You really ought to take some voice lessons." She was kidding. She was kidding, right? She gave me all these garbage bags of clothes and gowns, beautiful clothing. And she told me, she said, "Ask my assistant to go to my car and I have something for you because you're going to need some working clothes." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" She took me under her wing right from the beginning. I know. I loved her. I miss her so terribly.
What a sweet story. She just gave you all the clothes and she saw something in you.
3 bags.
Wow. And I assume you could fit, I hope you could fit them all because I know they were dynamic.
They fit me like they were made for me. It was the most uncanny thing ever.
Wow.
All of them.
And I loved Della Reese. She was such a talented lady. She's missed in this entertainment world.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. Okay, so before we end, I'm gonna just ask you a few questions. I want to say a name, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind when I say the name.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's all in fun. You'll know all the names, I promise.
Okay.
All right, Luther Vandross.
Silk.
Ooh, he's my favorite. Okay.
Silk.
Diana Ross.
Diva.
Okay. Charlie Wilson.
Uncle. Love Charlie.
What about Ella Fitzgerald?
Amazing.
Oh yeah, I can see that all over your face too when you answered that one.
I'm awestruck by her still and always.
Stevie Wonder.
Beautiful. I've actually sung with him before a few times.
Do tell us that story.
Well, my choir, because we were with Della Reese's choir, we got to sing with a lot of people and back Stevie up, and plus, a few other people. But Della did a show when I first moved here to LA called Della Reese Presents Kim Yarbrough. It was a stage show introducing me to the Hollywood community, and she invited all her friends. And, Stevie owns a radio station here in Los Angeles, KJLH, and I actually got to go in the studio and spend some time in an interview with him. And we just keep bumping into each other, because there was one occasion where he was singing in a place and my friends pushed me up on stage and I sang. So it's just been like weird encounters I've had with him. He's a wonderful man.
Oh, I mean, that's just like a dream for me to hear you say to me, Stevie Wonder. I mean, he's a dream. He is a wonder too. Yeah. And you just saying it like, oh, I just keep bumping into him. Like it's.
Well, he's right here. He's right here.
I know, but still, everybody can't say that. Or I sang with him, and then I was on stage again, not just once, more than once. So it's pretty awesome. Let's do one more. And I'm going to say this one because I heard you sing the song, Adele.
Now, why did you have to say Adele?
Because you sang the song.
You mean Rolling in the Deep?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's a whole nother story. I have to tell you about that off camera.
Did you not? Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I've never met Adele.
Oh, okay.
Give me another one. I have mixed feelings about that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. How about Fantasia?
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay. Game's over. You're good. Kim, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was a pleasure. Can you tell everybody where they can follow you, find you, and find out what you're doing? Where can we find you at? Where on social media?
If you go to my website, kimyarbrough.com, if you go to the home page, all of my social media icons are at the top of that page. Mm-hmm. And you can click on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. They're all up there. And if you want to follow me on any one of those, yes. And go to the music tab. And if you like any of the songs I've written or any of the songs that I've covered and recorded, download them.
Yes. Let's support Kim. Let's support Kim, everybody. And do you have do you have a new song? I'm not sure what the date was on that. You have a new release or
it is my new West release. It's probably about 3 years old now. That's why I'm working on something else. I think I'm working on a gospel CD right now, but the last release was about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Champagne and Grits.
I love that name, Champagne and Grits. Where'd you get that name from, Kim?
One of my acting coaches used to call me that.
Really? Champagne and Grits. Is the grits from down south, the southern part? And then
and it's a perfect name for me because
yes,
I'm down to earth, but I have my bougie moments.
Yes,
I have champagne moments.
I love it. That's a great name. Well, Kim, again, I thank you so much for spending some time with us this evening. Everybody, Unsung Tears and Kim's fans, please support her, download her music, go to her, follow her, go to her website and support our independent artists. And Kim Yarbrough, you are beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Please come back and see us, especially if you have some activity or you got new singles or whatever. Please come back so we can support you as well, okay?
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye-bye.